Hello, YouTube friends. Welcome. Chat has spoken. We're going to premiere draft some Midnight Hunt. Going on the hunt for trophies and wins and fun. Most of all, fun. Been trying to have fun with this. Been trying to embrace the hobby side of my hobby a little more than I have been in the last whatever. And it's been working. I've been drafting decks that have been fun to pilot, and some of them have been successful. And when I've been losing with them, I've been taking it. I really, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I do want to check in on my own response level to gaming losses and making sure that my hobby is net positive in my life and not something that's just making me angry. Like, I don't want to bring anger into my world. I got plenty of real things to be angry about without including outcomes of card games with digital currency stakes, putting that too high on the list. It's okay to have it on the list. I don't want to detach myself from Magic results so much that I don't even care about playing the game at all anymore, but contextualize, right, Ryan? And I've been doing that, and so it's been both allowing me to be less spiky about how I'm approaching every last draft pick. We can have fun on the stream and chase a weirdo deck. And then when it crashes and burns, shrug it off and be happy that we're in a place in our lives where that's what we did with ourselves today. That's kind of the mantra I always go back to when I'm taking Magic a little too seriously, and it helps. If you are taking Magic seriously, though, Card Kingdom ought to be on your list of retailers to check out when you need the cardboard stuff. They have the best cardboard rectangles, properly graded cardboard rectangles, the prettiest, rarest of the rectangles, all available to you in different forms. You can get rectangles inside of foil. You can get rectangles inside of sleeves. You can get rectangles inside of foil, inside of cardboard. There's just all sorts of ways to get rectangles at cardkingdom.com, and they're the best at it. I try to emulate them with my own store of rectangles. You can check out mine. I'll send you a Ryan Spain rectangle if you want. And let's get off the rectangle thing and start drafting. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Just remember to use my links, and they know you got there from here. Helps keep me on the air. And I appreciate that very much. Let's get into draft view. And let's update my info. We are on 0-0. There's some psychology for you. Happy. Bad run of 3 0-3s in a row, ready to quit the game. Then I went 7-1, and now I'm addicted again. Now I'm hooked. Every time I think I'm out. Well, I say this about, I don't know where I picked it up. I certainly didn't coin it, but it applies to poker and Magic, which is, there's no such thing as a former Magic player. There's only different amounts of time between games. Gonna get in here or what? Yes. Cathartic Pyre for the spell direction, or Horde for the classic zombie direction. With Pyre being the only spell, or the only red card in the pack worthy of consideration, like, yeah, this will wheel, right? I mean, this doesn't really matter. And because of my love of playing this style of deck, I think I'm going to go Pyre. Again, this is all part of my just go with what's having fun, what's fun for me right now. And the spell angle has still been more fun, still pretty darn open. And yeah, I don't see us wheeling the carriage out of this pack. I guess, let's see, what good cards are there happy to play? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 8 is a stretch. Yeah, like, there's some... I don't think Carriage can wheel, but a playable could wheel, especially if somebody rare drafts the land. Oh, instantly rewarded because this is a build around for exactly this kind of spell. So, like, if we had opened this pack one, I would have taken it and been like, great, let's move in towards this build around. And we're gonna do it. Let's see, what do we got here? I see Eccentric Farmer. Green is in a weird spot in the format. Sometimes it is just so wide open, right? It's just wildly open, and you get farmers wheeling and stuff. And anyway, I want to keep an eye on the green-red spells option in case something like the farmer wheels. But heavy red is where we're headed here with these two picks. Oh my goodness, chat! Ask and ye shall. I mean, this is just like Chef's Kiss 1, 2, 3 to open a draft. Ah! Snap! Alchemist. This is like the first medium pick we've had to even face. Well, I did say we can keep an eye on the green-red spells thing, but this probably wheels which is the grown-up pick or really just Stinger or Vitality. Which is best card? These are both quite playable in the heavy red deck. We can certainly make a case, especially since this isn't, this is just a good playable. Yeah, I kind of want to take one of the red cards, Vitality or Stinger. I think I'm going to go Vitality. I want to keep cutting the red and make this our lane. And this is a fine card in the archetype. White continues to be pretty open here, though. These are serviceable cards. Yeah, it's somewhat color signal-y, Tron. It's not like we can't get these, but I like carving out this lane. But now I'm not sure which direction to head here, because we could just take a Dissipate. Obviously this is a classic blue-red pair. And so that's why I don't mind Boros, but yeah, Vandal is fine, but not fine enough for me. I think I'm going to take the Dissipate. Another Reservoir, we'll take that. This is not legendary, so we can get a couple of these going. Although it's interesting that it's not a creature nor a instant or sorcery. So at some point, it starts to dilute your plan. Yeah, Hammer says don't even want another. I think I do want one more Hammer, but I would not take a third. This is a powerhouse rare when it. I mean, I don't know. Have you played with it much? I feel like I keep getting this, and it has, like in this trophy runs I've had with Reservoir, I just don't lose when I cast a Reservoir. So I'm in on doubling my chances to get one. Yeah, pick 8 Crasher. Sorry, I didn't properly fist pump there. Let's fist pump. I mean, it's coming up. Millhouse. Dissipate, just a whatever. I don't mind that it's here. Like, it could be a white creature or whatever, but or even the red creature. Yeah, I could have taken we could be 100% red at this point, but I don't mind the Dissipate, although I don't love the double blue. Maybe the double blue is even a reason to have not taken this card. My most successful red X spells decks have been just that. Red X, as in red splash. Heavy, 15 red cards plus. And then not a splash necessarily, but a very light touch of a second color. Maybe this just... Did this whole thing shift? I feel like I'm going to adjust this, but not now. I keep noticing this. You notice the little things, and for me, it's like I always notice them when I can't really do much about them. All right, tapping could be in the green, but this is looking for creatures, so this is not really even the red-green spells thing. And if we're going to take a creature, let's take a creature that matches at least the other color we already have. We can take the effigy again. It doesn't matter. And this was the only other red card in our first pack. Not that we expected it to wheel, but it would have been a bad sign if it hadn't, for example. Yeah, so whereas tapping is not the flashback card we want, Gaze could be playable in a deck like this, depending on what else we end up with. Immolation, a little kind of an odd removal out for this type of deck because it is an enchantment. It doesn't trigger anything and it's not a creature, but if you're short on interaction, you can run it. Pax Betrayal. I've never really run it in a spells deck. Oh, great. The Stinger Wield. We were talking about taking this the first time around. So really great that it came back all the way around. And really says that our lane is just wide open. We might be mono red, honestly, with the way things are going. Probably unlikely. Yeah, we also were going to take this, right? I took Dissipate over Vandal. So we got the Vandal anyway. And now Delver. Delver's pretty real for this deck, of course, but and Crasher seems like it should come around with how people are drafting, but I'm also not willing to risk not getting this Crasher. It is fundamental to what the deck is trying to do. It very, and you know, early on when I was dabbling with this archetype, even like where chat was ahead of me on it, and they were screaming at me to take Crashers in spots like this where I was saying I will try and wheel it. And then now I've come around to chat screaming at me to take the Crasher. Like, yes, solid shot that this wheels. Solid shot that this wheels. But it's just the heart of the deck. I'll take 7 of these if the table will send them to me. So I'm just not going to mess around with what I think is the linchpin common of the deck. Really crappy second pack. Are we really on Vitality pick 2? Big Uggs for that. But Vitality plus Crasher is the combo, right? I mean, Crasher becoming a 6/4 trample. So real. Wow. Yeah, we could rare draft. Probably wheel this. Do a gem lesson here. Is there any secondary color? Like we might be black, for example. We could take Crawl or Siege Zombie in case we have a black contingent. Yeah, Hammer, I'm not worried about it. We might not even be blue is the thing. I'm gonna just rare draft. There's just nothing important there. So take the rare and not passing Crashers. Continuing the trend of not passing these. Here's another Siege Zombie I could grab, but Secrets of the Key kind of does the thing. Rise of the Ants does the thing. So this is a place to decide kind of what another direction that might be our backup at Homestead Courage. I think Secrets, like Ants is better, but Secrets has some other support. And yeah, this is a double green, but it's a 6-drop double green, so generally it's doable. I'm going to take the Ants just because I think Secrets isn't that important. Whereas if the table suddenly starts hitting us with great green spells, then we could absolutely... That's the beauty of the heavy redness of the archetype, I think, is that you get to just focus on the red and pick up opportune awesomeness for the archetype in other colors and just see where you land. Well, I'm not going to land here. That's a very cool rare and very powerful, but we have a Painter, which is right on brand. Geist Wave would be good in the deck. I'd play a Cavalier if we were white, even though it's not kind of the thing. But Painter is the thing, and it's monocolored in our color. Pretty easy, Painter. Yeah, that's true. I'm looking out for that. We can end up for sure in white. One of the best spells decks I had was splash white for 4 of the uncommon Shock Helix. Angler? Post is not bad in this deck, but I want like 1, and we can get them. We should get I'm gonna risk, like, if we don't end up with one of these, okay, too bad. Like, I would totally run one, but it's not the end of the world if we don't get one of them. And I'm gonna risk getting one in a future pack. Yeah, the blue is still not super important either. Vamp, you like the Vamp here? You have this Curse of Leeches. Yeah, I think Bolt is reasonable, but again, it's that sad spot. I'll take the Bolt because it plays in anything, but it doesn't trigger Crasher, right? That's the problem. Consider is here, but we're not going to consider passing yet another Crasher. I said I'd play 7. Let's see if this draft hands him to me. We got the Delver back. Should we go Delver over Consider? Do this thing? If we go Delver, we're saying we're a little less splashy and a little bit more green-blue. Yeah, we are a little low on spells, though, is the thing. But let's take the pieces and just know that we are, and we got to prioritize that coming up. We'll take this as well. We'll see if it plays. I don't know. I don't think we're doing this now. Although we'll take Turn the Earth in case we are. And the key came back, or here's a key we can take. This is what we're looking for. Might even play with Effigy. With 4 Crashers, I would play an Effigy. This pack was really light on good spells, even first time through. So I know that we're supposed to focus on spells, but how about Dragon? Well, I just was trying to look. Don't look, Arena. Just all right. Spells. What? Spectral Adversary? Crasher? It's so good. I was just trying to reserve it. See, I am destined to either, like, how do I want things to fail? Elementalist to get our no spells back. I'll take the Elementalist, but I'm going to put it in the board for right now. Burn the Accursed is good to see. We'll take that. Try to wheel the secrets. We actually have spells. We're going to be fine. And then we get a Lunar Frenzy. Flip the switch. Ooh. Should we just take the rare? This is cool. It is 2 spells. I kind of want to be cool instead of right. It is. All right, fine. Chat is so grown up. Maybe we'll wheel that with the way things are going. So here we're saying, do we take a Startle? Are we taking a Startle over a Painter? I'm going to actually reserve Startle as we try to figure this out. Yeah, we only have 9 instants and sorceries, and we're the tail end of 3. I think we need the Startle more than the Painter here. Where's our stupid rummage common? Where's like, we've cut red so hard. The packs just have not had one yet. We've only got 2 more fresh packs to see. I would love to see a random Revels. No, like, who's taking our spells? It's not fair, chat. We need to splash this? I mean, this is not a Larder Zombie deck. I don't want to run the first Vandal. Yeah, I'm going to take Gems. I'm not splash. I don't think we should splash. We should accept a low spell count before we accept a splash, and Consider is just like, okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think they have been Spelllight War Furnace. I really think so. And the lack of the we never saw. We're like the only red drafter, and we just literally never saw the rummage. And now, is this card even good enough? I mean, I'm going to take it. Like, we might just need to cast it as a pump spell for Crashers, even if it sometimes misses. Another Crasher. What did we take over this? Oh, I think I took the Adversary in a snap pick. I gotta take the spell. I'm sorry, Crasher number 5. I said I wouldn't pass you, but, you know, we need these to make you work. All right, feeling better, though. We have gone from Desperation to like 13 instants and sorceries, some of them with flashback, so they kind of represent extra instants and sorceries to cast. I like that, Gidan more. We'll go with that. Except we're gonna go with a very specific N as opposed to and, as homage to one of my all-time favorite video games that I bet none of you have played. Has anybody out there played Crash and Burn on the 3DO? I mean, nobody, like, I've told the story of my 3DO before, which very quickly, in college, my tech-addicted roommate who had a minimum wage job at Radio Shack desperately wanted to get the 3DO at launch, which at the time was $700. That was $700 in 1994, not $700 today. And like Last Pick Vandal. So he and I had rent money saved up for the whole year, and I loaned him rent money to buy a 3DO. I lent him rent money to buy a 3DO, and one of the launch games for 3DO was a combat racer called Crash and Burn. And it's truly one of my most heavily played games of all time, partly because it was clearly the best game on the system at launch. And it was, you know, so I just played it into the ground. Loved that game, Crash and Burn. And kind of was a precursor to my all-time favorite franchise, which is Burnout. The whole car combat genre I love. I love Burnout. I love Twisted Metal. I love Carmageddon. I love car games in which the goal is not to run a perfectly clinical car race. I'm not into highly technical simulation car racers. I want madness. Where is my Twisted Metal reboot, right, Siriana? Where is it? Where is it? Anyway, Crash. I gotta figure out if it's like if there's an apostrophe on both sides of the N or not. I gotta get this right. This is history here. Yeah, it's front. Forever this makes sense, it is this. Burn. There we go. Yes, Destruction Derby was great. Here's another one that I doubt, like, maybe some of you olds out there will be with me on this, but one of my, again, all-time most played video games is actually a Commodore 64 game called Racing Destruction Set. Go look up some YouTube videos on Racing Destruction Set. The one of the things about Racing Destruction Set was that at the time, like, this is like the mid 80s, to load Racing Destruction Set took literal hours. I would have to, when I would lend people the disc, the floppy disk, I'd say, like, start loading this when you go to school, and then when you come back home from school, it will be loaded. And if they did, they wouldn't trust me. They like load it, and then like 3 hours later, where they'd say it's broken, your disk is broken, it's been loading for 3 hours. I'm like, yeah, it's not done yet. Just hang in there. All right, Smooth Tuesday is an old with me. Erasing destruction set player, but nobody out there on Crash and Burn, huh? I didn't think so. I mean, hardly anybody played the 3DO, but Crash and Burn deserves a reboot. Where's that gang? They should be making. Let's cut the Storm Rider Spirit. We're not. We need to get rid of the stuff that's not on plan here. Silver Bolt. I'm going to pull the stuff that's not on plan over, and then we can discuss the not plan stuff. I think this is all plan, and I want all of it. So then we are in. So let's cut the Bolt. That's just got to go. Gale Drifter's probably got to go. Vandal, if not both Vandals. And then Stinger. And we're best of one. We have a Consider. We have Otherworldly Gaze. We have Startle. I'm trying to see if we can be 16. We have a Mana Sink in Adversary. We do have a Seize that wants Flashback. That's no joke. People have said 2 reservoirs too much. I acknowledge that that you really don't want them in multiples. Like I mean, the thing is, it's not completely useless. It's not like you've drawn the Queen of Spades if you get a second reservoir, because they both build up counters, and then you have you're just dual wielding, right? That's fine. But it is not a creature, and it's not an instance or sorcery, so it doesn't help hold the ground, hold the board, and it doesn't trigger our synergies, but it is such a great payoff. And again, I was saying earlier, I generally have not lost good spells deck games where I've played a reservoir and have a decent spells deck. So I'm willing to call it even a mulligan to 6. We mulliganed, and but in our mulliganed hand was our reservoir, which is to say, if we get 2 reservoirs and never really play the second one, I'll still feel like we've had a great hand because we got a reservoir in it. So 2 more cuts. I think I'm probably being greedy to go to 16 in a spells deck. You're just looking to do multiple things and flashing back and lunar frenzies and stuff. We could cut Erase as kind of the worst of our spells. And is 12 enough? 12 might be enough, although Raise is not that bad again with the quad crashers. You end up with a 5/5 attacker. Yeah, we just cut Angler as worst creature. Let's do that. Let's do that. Least on plan creature. I don't blame you for wanting to be off Infusion, but I think it's the fact that it's 2 spells is pretty important to me. And we do have 11 others, which means that in top 4, on average, we should find one. Like at 10 other instants and sorceries, you're at perfect bell curve levels, right? Like on average, every 4 cards should contain one. So the bell curve says you're fine, but sometimes you're going to get a couple, sometimes you're going to get 0, right? So there are going to be the risk of ruin here is real. Ruin is strong though. The risk of missing is real, but the reason I want to play it is that it's not ruin. Casting this and missing is still +2 to all of your Festival Crashers, is still counters off of the egg, it's still extra damage from your Thermo Alchemist, it still flips a Delver, and it still pumps your Painter, right? Like, so it's just so synergy and does the reservoir thing. I mean, I know I'm saying obvious stuff here, but I just want to drive home that point that, like, yes, it has a fail case, but it's not the worst. Yeah, and Dissipate is fair as well. And if we were If we were really more of a splash blue deck, I would be with you, but we're more 50-50 here. Look, we're trying to get Delvers down on 1, so I don't mind the double blue, and so I don't mind having a hard counter. Yeah, interesting. Interesting how much of chat wants the Dissipate to go. I'll pull it. I'm kind of not with you on this chat. I think Dissipate is great. I think Counter Magic is great when you drop this stuff and then can protect it with a Dissipate. When you dissipate their attempt to kill your Crasher mid-combat and your Crasher gets even bigger, oh. But yeah, that's true. I'm talking about the best case scenario mentality, but True's like, yeah, but you have to have your opponent do something. You don't just get to proactively do that, which is totally fair. But I don't like cutting spell. Like if we're going to cut that, then I want to put back in, even like, what have we cut here? I want to put back in like, oh, we didn't even cut it. Like I was going to cut the raise, right? Like I would cut raise before I'd cut the Dissipate, for example. But I don't want either of these to be cut. I want to keep 12. I want to keep I want to keep 13. But I guess I could go down to 12. That's what I was saying. I want to be at least at 12. And raise is the thing we can give up here, I think. We have the other things doing the raise job include Lunar Frenzy, Stolen Vitality, and Startle. So we have some interaction on that level already. Yeah, raise is good. The quad crashers is why this was even still in the deck and in the discussion. Really, with the depth of blue at 1, I actually want to go 9 island, 8 mountain, which is kind of funny given where we started. But if you look at our early curve, and especially when you move Frenzy where it belongs, it actually makes perfect sense to slightly lean island. Where it hurts a little bit is like often we're trying to do 2. Well, that's not true too. We're trying to do 2 spells with blue as well, because sometimes we're trying to make crashers and pump them with secrets and gaze and that kind of thing. I do like that our 3 blue spells are all instants, so these are combat tricks effectively for our synergy creatures. All right. Not even playing the Elementalist, just doesn't fit here. Like Reservoir is just so much better. Reservoir number 2, so much better than Elementalist number 1 here. And let's check for bling. And I'll par pull it while I see no bling. So let's do it this way. Problem is, you all know that when nobody does bling, I just default so often to Avons that I'm not giving anybody a reason to redeem bling. Like, why would you? Just get to accept the Avons. And let's put the crashers in here. Let's have some fun with sleeves. It's a burn deck. Let's use our burn legend. Yeah, 5s and 6s, nothing below 5, huh? Pressure's on. Or I just blame chat when we 0-3 or whatever. I like the deck too. I think it looks good. Give us the play and give us some reasonable openers. Right on, Arstal. Glad you liked it. You can reach out to me on Discord or Twitch with your redemption of your reward. Check this out. Nice. If you want to tilt me, redeem the Forgotten Realms basics. Decline. All right. Spectral Adversary question time. Do you play this? I guess we just at least run out. It's got flash, so we can decide at the end of their turn. But I kind of like Adversary. Be the grown-up. Just play the 2/1 flyer on 2. It's a good card. Good beater. And we are trying to be fairly aggressive as a spells deck here. And with Oppo going Procession, that makes me want to do it even more. They haven't added to the board. Let's apply maximum pressure. We're going to go Adversary into Painter and then have Secrets behind. Yeah, we'll still go Painter over Crasher to use all our mana, but interesting draw. Crasher Secrets is already a decent turn next turn with the Painter out, so I'm happy about that. And Candlegrove, not much of a blocker here. Delver, not much of a flipper here, unfortunately. And we're going to telegraph that by our situation by not attacking with it, but we do get to send these two, drop a Crasher, and then ask ourselves whether we want to give up Crasher damage to cast the key on their turn. I'm right now inclined to wait until we untap, because we can go Secrets, Flashback Secrets for a double cast next turn, and they might not realize we have two instants to play during combat next turn. Sun Gold Sentinel is pretty good, and I'm glad we didn't cast the Secrets ahead of time, because that's another Graveyard Exiler. And yeah, we're definitely going to wait, cross our fingers. Come on, one-time dealer, flip our Delver. Flip our Delver, and let's wreck face with a double Secrets. Or Secrets plus whatever sweet spell we draw to flip the Delver. Come on, one-time dealer. Please. The sads. This attack's not going to be sad, though. Classic Delver in that it's on my side. Classic Delver is that when my opponent plays it on turn 1, it flips on turn 2, of course. That's how that works. Somehow the programmers work it out. Yeah, it's always challenging to make all players unhappy when it's such a zero-sum game. I mean, they might be dead if they don't block. Yep, good choice, Oppo. You kind of have to. I'll show you why. But we might just want to do this once. All right, good play for them. They get rid of our Crasher. Should we go for draw a card or Secrets? Secrets, we get another damage in, but yeah, we could just draw a card. That's probably better than 2 clues here and another pump. We need to do both or we lose it on attacks. Oh, yeah, because of the yeah. But I also don't mind if they attack. Maybe, like, inducing an attack is not the worst. But also they need Covenant or that, yeah. Anyway, but that being said, I think we should just do it now. We get lots of card draw and we get some extra damage. This is fine. Flyer still puts a 3-turn clock on him. Here we go. Yeah, Delver's gonna flip now, baby. Here we go. Delver's flipping. Flipping Delvers. Flipping Delvers. Flipping Delver. One. All right, Delver flip for the 2-turn clock. Here we go.
Oh, here comes the flood.
You funny, Delver. All right. That's a draw. That's a draw. That's a draw. But you even get this side.
We will say goodbye to flesh and blood.
I mean, they're out of cards. Come on, Magic Gods. Just flip the Delver. I'm going to start revealing it, though. I'm going to start revealing land after land after land after land. My, oh my. We've seen 8 cards since we put a Delver on the battlefield. We have 12 instants and sorceries. 0 of 8. Come on. Come on. I told you I win when I get these. Here we go, though. This is here. This is actually still fine because we can. This helps. This does something. See? You got to land off the top of our deck so we can flip Delver next turn. So we are at 7 lands left for a 32% chance. That's the thing. 32% chance of land is still a really high chance of land. That's the thing with statistics. I mean, Oppo just continuing to show us that all we need to do is draw a spell and we win. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Do we still win? Like, we don't quite win. No, we don't. So... we're now at 29%. To hit land, again, still a pretty sizable amount I mean, they know they're dead to a spell, so I kind of like how Jesse here is going after this game. I don't know. They're just like, well, if the magic gods are going to help this... Oh. It's bordering on unreal. Seven to 12 on the land delta. 7 to 12 on a land delta does not win you many Magic games. It's unusual to even have that kind of delta, because how have you survived to even have 12 lands in play to their 7? Yeah, we were all lottery tickets when we were just trying to draft, but now we're all like, don't go outside, Ryan. That's all right. Magic gods are toying with us. We're still going to top deck a win. You ready? Magic gods are toying with us, you see? And even the X spell to make all the flooding worth it. Magic gods are just like, we're gonna give it to you, but we're gonna make you suffer in agony first, because we're the magic gods. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No cards, so we can just go style points for the 10. 10 up top. What a weird game. We still got there. Deck is good. And bear in mind, we had that for like, what, 6 turns in a row? It's like, that's probably too many, but probably like 4 turns in a row, any spell would have given us the game. Well played, Prof. Did it do 15? I think it did 13. Maybe it did 14. Did 1 point, then got blocked, and then did 13. All right, this is real. So my plan here would be Crasher, Crasher, Egg, Pyre. That's my current sequencing plan. Maybe Crasher, Crasher, Crasher Egg, then Pyre Frenzy. Who knows? Always be crashing. Do you block in this spot? I say nah. I say we're looking to race you with our fistful of crashers. Show me what you got. It's pretty good as far as those things go. We got some tools here, though. It's kind of a sad turn 3 with not much to do. Now, we could play the egg and start blocking with it, but that's enough, you know. But we can go like I think we go Crasher now. And no attacks. Now let's see if they want to attack in with a naturalist, because if they don't have anything, we have a double block kill. So if they keep sending the naturalist, that's a pretty scary sign. We could go Frenzy for 0 to get first strike. So there's that as well. So we still might block. If they send in the naturalist, I am ready to double block and see what they've got, because we can produce a lot of sudden first strike. Looks like they're going for flipping. That's fine, because we're going to spend our turn flipping things back. Oh, except for the part where we didn't draw a fourth land. I didn't factor that part in. I am going to go with the egg here. This is unfortunate. Yeah, just the opposite of last game. Just to show you the shuffler's working fine. Because it'll get you in both directions. Just to show that nothing suspicious here. Let me brutalize you in the opposite direction. Yeah, startle for land might be worth it. The question is, so if we startle for land and miss, are we done for? Like, and maybe not, because we get the sneaky frenzy to block like the Lord of the Ulenwald. So I think startle for land is actually the play here. And backup plan of frenzy again is not the total worst. And there we go, we got it. Now we're even on send crashers. And we can still play something after combat to do the flip. So we don't, I'm actually not going to make it any bigger. We're just going to play like another crasher or whatever. Well, we can go vitality. You want to do, like, what would that get us? We get, instead of 6, we get 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We do get them to 7. We could then do Frenzy for 0 to get them to 6, 5, 4, 3. And then Pyre is lethal next turn. Gang, I'm going for it. Because we're having fun today. We might get blown out here. I'm ready for it. My heart is ready. My soul is ready. We're going for it because it's fun to do so. Oh, that's right. Pyre doesn't go to face. This is still a heck of a lot of damage. So maybe I'll save the Frenzy then. But this flips him and was a ton of damage. Oh, that's right. I was thinking the X could be 0, but you still need the red anyway. Good point. So I was all sorts of wrong on that sequencing, on what the potential was there, but I was not wrong on getting him to 7. That happened and was awesome. And next turn, Pyre, like we send in, they put the wolf on something. They put the wolf on one of the crashers. We Pyre the wolf and then Lunar Frenzy the wolf block to give it trample, and we probably just win from there. If they tap out, we kind of win on a bad block, basically. All right, 2 big boys. And we got another land, yay. Now we have, now we gotta decide if we can just win this here. So, we get, a crasher needs to get plus 12. Oof, that seems unrealistic. I kind of like Smoldering Egg Crasher here. And then next turn having Pyre, Frenzy with the additional Crasher and working on the egg. So let's do that. If they come at us here, that's scary. Because we're showing a heck of a crackback for them at 7. So if they come in, we may need to be ready to frenzy block for some first strike, but they didn't, so that's great. And that's a pretty good draw, except it doesn't leave us 2 spell. Cathartic Pyre might be better, given this. Like, we can kill the Lord to reduce toughness. I think we got to go for it now, because they might just put, because we still have the Bounding Wolf play, right? We still have the Bounding Wolf win, so we're going to try that. But they did leave a, yeah, I don't know, maybe they, there's definitely some risk here. But Burn also puts them at a virtual 5. In any case, let's send everything. Oh, but they are, yeah, and they're pausing as well. We could play it super safe here, pass, and hold up all of our burn. And then at the end of their turn, burn Wolf or Lord, and then untap and have the same Cathartic Pyre and Frenzy, but with 1 fewer blocker, and with them at 2 fewer life. So I'm going to continue, like, this is just too scary, especially with the pause, if there's nothing here that explains the pause. So no attacks. We're going to play at instant speed, and we're going to play cautiously. I've tended to have more success in this format the more I've said, you know, they might have it. They might just... And see, this is actually good. I'd much rather see them tap down here, and maybe they'll get aggressive. If they go for an attack, we got plenty of responses. So, yeah, so let's see. How do we want to do this? Probably Pyre. Let's see, if we burn the Accursed... I like Pyre the Lord, and then we see what Frenzy does for us. Yeah, it feels like we're going to win here, depending on, we can look up tips and tricks. They could have the +2/+2 trick, so we should keep that in mind here with blocks if we can. If we can play around +2/+2, we should. And note they're pausing, so let's check tips and tricks and make sure we understand what could be there, because we're nighttime, so Moonrager's Slash and Raise the Effigy, Play with Fire, and Lunar Frenzy are all possible. That's a lot. That's a lot. So we really have to play around a lot here and find our blocks. But really, burning a blocker, getting him to 5, pumping this to 3, like and keeping this, like Zombie +1 Crasher should be enough to crack back for the win. Oh yeah, they have 2 mana too, so it really opens up the possibilities here. And we're going to do all sorts of blocking, including a chump of their biggest thing with the egg. The egg doesn't really matter here except to try and keep us alive. And then Crasher on other 6. And then Crasher on Bounding Wolf. Again, burn plus decay plus Crasher pump is lethal on the crackback. So... oh yeah, if we're just if we're doing it that way, might as well do it this way. I got it. Well, here we go. Out of Hourglasses might not have been the absolute perfect block, but it does still preserve our lethal crackback with the burn, the Accursed, or the Lunar Frenzy. This might mean that what they have is burn, and they're going to burn our Crasher. But we get our Smoldering Egg, at least in that spot. I'm really nervous now. Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot the Vigilance there. So maybe I need to Frenzy so that we can just fly with the egg. Right? And then we get... Oh, and then we can Frenzy. So, like, except we still need to draw a, Yeah, I'm gonna go to our turn. Except we didn't get another land. Didn't get another land. We can burn the Hauler now. And there's forced blocks. But then we're dead to the crack. How do we get lethal? What am I missing? We get, because they're tapped out, so we clear this, they go to 5, and then they block here and go to, I don't understand how. Oh, because it's not a defend. Oh, got it. Sorry, gang. I was thinking that this had defender, and that yeah, that didn't flip. Right. All right. So, oh no. Oh God, I'm so sorry, gang. The rope got me. That was the rope. It's all right. We're gonna trophy this. I'm sorry, gang. Now I got to think about how to mitigate and still try to win this game. Hang in there with me. Let's see if we can still win this game. I'm going to say no attacks. End the turn. We don't need to burn the 4/5. Well, yeah, we got. You can't let it flip tonight. Okay. Can't let it flip. But Oppo's going to see that we just blew it. We're at 8, though. Not dead. Just frustrated. But not even frustrated. I gotta go easy on yourself, Ryan. You just... it's really tough to do this, gang. To play good Magic under the pressure of the rope and the time and everything. And when this happens to me, do this and figure out how to try to win anyway. And then if you don't, figure out how to try to go on and win, right? So now we are on... Gotta presume they have nothing, even though that's not a great presumption. But we do block here, and we block here. Or do we just block the 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess if we can't beat anything. We can't beat anything, right? So we probably just do this. And then, although this says they just need anything and then they get us. We probably can't do that. Yeah, if they have, I'm trying to figure out what we can beat and how to block it that still beats something that they might have. Yeah, so we got to block with Dragon, and so then I'm back to this. Might as well do this. And I've already forgiven myself. If I take a loss here, I'm going to shrug it off, and we're going to try and trophy anyway. Magic is hard. Streaming is hard. Together, they're more than twice as hard. Oh, yeah. So there you go. Sometimes you punt, and it literally... I talk about free lessons. No free lessons there. That was just a harsh lesson. But instead of getting tilty, we'll accept our harsh lesson and take it as a lesson on how to take some beats when Magic is hard. Should be 2-0. But now the time-traveling supercomputer is on two very distinct branches of the road we face with a loss versus the road we face without one. So it's hard to, you know, in the what would have, should have, could have. Mostly, I'm just sorry for like. I hate causing chat agony. I've been there on as the chat side when you're watching a streamer make tragic mistakes for the game, even though it's just a game. You're just like, but it's what we're doing. Oh, and it went off the rails, and that sucks. But the plus side is the humanity shows through. All right, certainly a keep. Also, we win pretty easily there on the play. I just thinking about that. Like the being on the draw was tough there, and being on the draw, you can just really feel it when you're on a draw. I'm not going to play Secrets of the Key on one, even though we could, when we're just full of triggers. So no secrets for right now. If we get a nice land, then we get Crasher plus Secrets on 3, which is a nice alternate play for that. Or we can just get the egg going. Maybe with the C's and the Secrets, I should just be trying to grow an egg. And there's our third land. That's great. What do you think, gang? Is this a Crasher spot or an egg spot? And if we play egg, are we blocking with it in the face of a first striker, you know? I think I'm going to play Crasher now because I'm not playing a spell next turn anyway. If I decide, like, it doesn't matter now or next turn whether we egg. So I'm going to go Crasher. And one of the things this does, well, but they could have tricks or, you know, also Chaplain plus Doomblade, not Doomblade, you know, the Blade Brand is a real thing in white-black. And putting a one-powered creature down forces them to tell us whether, you know, they can't bluff it, right? It's got to be, or it's a much more risky bluff if we put down a Crasher. And now we can decide whether we want to go egg or Crasher. And I do think I like egg here, and we start removing counters. And we start blocking because they showed me at least they don't have Blade Brand, or they would have sent into the Crasher. And we are on defense enough that I'm going to actually hold here with the Secrets and be able to make 3 power on blocks. Double Crasher next turn ahead of Seize or recasting Secrets is also excellent. Hopefully we'll get be cleared for takeoff here on this Smoldering Egg. Unlike last game. I mean, no, that's not true. Last game we were cleared for takeoff. I just declined to taxi to the runway. Interesting attack. Suggests they have something. We have so many Crashers here, I'm willing to draw stuff out, especially since eventually we're trying to protect a dragon. And they've already missed a land drop, yeah. So this is where but this could be, maybe they found a Blade Brand. I just don't know. It would have to be a top deck, or they would have sent this last time, or they would have sent this now. Anyway, calling. I call. Yeah, they might just think we have nothing and that it's a free attack, but... okay. So we'll trade. That's fine. Yeah, Party Captain would explain that, but instead it was the Blessing. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it only gets +2, right? So it still doesn't, like, eat the egg? But you could have eaten this. Yeah, I don't know why you didn't. If they were going to make that attack. Excuse me. All right, Crasher, Crasher. Excellent turn after. Oppo pausing with 2 black mana. If we go to our list, we see that it has to be Rotten Reunion, Blade Brand, Midnight Ambush, or Infernal Grasp. Oppo has one of those. None of it great news for us. Blade Brand would have to have just been recently drawn, or... Okay, there we go. It's Infernal Grasp. Oh man, if they come up with kill here... They didn't. Captain is pretty good, though. I'm suddenly feeling not great about this. We're getting destroyed in the air, and our big plan for the air has been nullified.
Not only am I your ship's captain, I am also your party captain! Woo! We're gonna get it going here in just a few minutes.
I'm your party captain, too! And
that being said, I think we're still on Seize the Storm here, because the next turn we get Secrets plus Crack Clue, almost guaranteeing a follow-up Secrets. We're taking 3 in the air in the meantime. But this is going to be a 1... It's only going to be a 2-2. That's kind of weak. Maybe we're supposed to crack a clue here. What are we looking for? Some removal. Suck. Maybe we send 1. How do we win this if I'm not attacking? But how do I win this if I'm attacking? Philosophical questions of Magic. If I play Seize the Storm and it's a frickin' 2-2, am I content to block? I guess I'm gonna send. I guess the answer is send 1 Crasher. That's what I'm gonna do. If they want the double, I'll take the 2 for 1. It's only 2 for 1 in terms of the board trade. That doesn't count the transforms into and the card they drew. But if we're going to get there, it's going to be clearing for attacks, so find some removal. If we even just get rid of the Interloper... All right, 1 and 2. We can still trophy. I hate you, Diagraph Horde. You're my least favorite card in the set. Truly. Truly, I hate this card. If it didn't have that clause, it would merely be this good card in the set. But there's something about the FU of the exile clause in this card that makes me loathe its design. Well, I shouldn't scoop. Let's draw a card, but we're done for. You try to do something fun and powerful. This deck is fun, but I'm not saying it's like we goofed off and have some bad deck we're trying to have fun with. Chat par polled this at 6 and 5. This might be the highest par polling deck we've ever had. Not even a 4. And there was decent voter turnout. Most people were not counting on me outright punting away a game, though. So that's on me. Affecting your odds there. But it was on you not to predict that I would screw up. I think if they just swing away, I don't know what we do. We have... it doesn't even matter what we have, because, like, with the hexproof, we are unable to interact enough. All right, Magic Gods, I know I screwed up in that this record is due in large part because of my piloting, but it would be sure nice if you could give us a couple of wins before delivering that third loss. This deck is too fun to just take it away with a random loss here. So come on, Magic Gods. I'm not even asking for a trophy anymore. I'm back to just kind of wanting my deck to do its thing again. It got done once, but doesn't feel right. Just let us do our thing a couple times, and then you can slaughter us with whatever random, awful variance destruction you prefer. This is keepable despite the lack of blue. We got a Pyre on defense and then a Painter on 3, even with no other cards. So this is keepable despite the lack of blue. Ideal would be a crasher here. That's what we really want to see. What we don't want to see is a high-quality frickin' blue-white deck in the damn O2 bracket. But the Island also not the worst draw. I'm going to go Pyre the Sifters. I mean, I guess the Spell Rune starts to block it. Maybe I should not do that. Because we do have Reservoir coming, and we can even go Reservoir Secrets on turn 4 after Painter on 3, and Painter blocks the Sifters. And Pyre might be better for something both more impactful than the Sifters and as a additional counter on the Reservoir. So this is somewhat risky. If we lose this game, we could come back and examine this decision to not only take this damage, but to leave this uninterfered with for multiple turns as we go with Painter into Reservoir Key into hopefully Burn. So it's actually pretty far off from casting this. Boy, I'm almost talking myself into it here. Especially because we have Flashback the Secrets. Right, but I also want them, great, counter this instead of countering our Painter and our Reservoir and Secrets or whatever. That sounds fine. I think I'm going to do it. I've now talked myself into it. This is so far off from being cast with the plan for this hand that I'd rather prevent this damage and just take the hopeful 1-for-1. Interesting to think that through and to shift gears like this, but that's where I landed. Is it, you know. And I don't mind this either. I mean, that's a tempo hit that should allow us to get to the point where we pull ahead. If they can't, you know, another thing that really hurt us that in the loss was the Reservoir being disenchanted against the white deck in one of our losses. We got multiples. More value for the Sifters. Wow, I can't believe they took that long to pitch that. What else were they thinking about? This is like the perfect pitch. Crasher. If we had a 2-spell turn with the Crasher besides the Key, I might consider it, but the Reservoir Key play is still fine here. We're under some pressure, but the Painter can still block. And if they want to find Coven and spend 3 to get rid of the blocker, that's also fine. So this is, I still feel good about our spot. Burn has a Castaway waiting. Castaway has a Burn waiting is more what I mean, but I'm expecting Flyer attack, big Flyer, we Secrets, we untap, we hopefully find a land, and we burn the big Flyer. Setting up burning the small Flyer with the Reservoir. Oh, I guess I just instinctively, like, we should let them do this before we let them know we're doing anything. It might affect what they're up to, what they shuffle in. Just good habits, if nothing else. No luck on the land, but we do have Festival Crasher Infusion. And Festival Crasher, at least again, continues to put good blocks down. And we can also just draw a card looking for a land. Yeah, it also puts a counter on the Reservoir to untap and kill the small thing. Regardless, I mean, we have to do this now if we want to try to find a land. That's the question. Do you want to go for the land plan? taking attacks in the air next turn either way. So actually, yeah, I'm going to draw and look for land, since we also don't get any value out of our triggers here with that. Well, looks like the magic gods are not on our side today. I don't know. Still might find a land off the top to take care of the big flyer. But now the clock is getting serious in the air, and I'm kind of on, we need to draw a land, resolve a burn the accursed, or we're actively in trouble. All right, part one done, and of course against blue we're going to fire off this burn here. And good attacks from the Cathar on the way back, but then we untap in pretty decent shape. Currently, they can't even take away our blocker. Ah, damn it! This effing commando twice getting my sweet rare is pissing me off. Now I'm tilty. Come on, magic gods. What? Alright, now we're in like desperation egg mode, basically. Try to get this egg off the ground ASAP, either through a dissipate of something or secrets into arcane. And then hopefully I'll de-tilt and we can still stabilize. Again, you know, I get frustrated, but it doesn't help me win Magic games, right? Gotta stay in it, stay focused, and stay positive about my opportunities to win, find the outs and play to them, and stop praying to non-existent magic gods, Ryan. It's a fun joke, but it is not a way to win a game of Magic. Dissipate for sure, since this is plan A. No, they've got... We were just destined to fail. Tough pill. Tough pill from the magic gods today. Wild. Well, we get this trade. We'll take it. We're still just... again, I'm trying to give myself the proper advice and then completely failing on it immediately. I still need to stay in this and try to win this game. So, let's go for an Arcane Infusion main and look for something to pick off an annoying flyer. Here's the problem with this card. I'm still going to do... Oh, and that's for 5. I guess at this point I'd rather just hold. What's our outs now? What a slap in the face. I mean, seriously. The 1 loss bracket deck and the 2 loss bracket decks have been insane. Clues into burn, but that's why I'm looking like we don't have that much. We've got the burn the accursed and a startle to not die. That's our I think one of the problems with this deck is just the lack of interaction, and maybe that was a reason. Remember way back when I was thinking about this Pyre? Like, part of the reason it was such a tough choice is that this has such little interaction, but we're not going to win. We can't win off of this now. We're just effed. We even got our burn, but it just doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. Do we have a 1-drop creature? We have a Delver. So actually the out now is clue for Delver, have 2 blockers. All right. Well, as really frustrating as this is, I'm at least going to say I finished on me trying to find an out. You know, I was complaining up and down about my bad luck here, but at least I finished on focusing in, trying to figure out if I actually had any outs and going for it. Because, you know, Delver, Chump, Crasher, Bounce, then find Burn, and then suddenly it's maybe okay. Anyway, Magic is a rough endeavor sometimes. But as I said from the top, I can't let this ruin my day. And also, I have to fully embrace that I punted away a win, right? I can talk about my bad luck, but I even said, well, we'll never know what the opponent gauntlet was going to look like in the winner's bracket versus the loser's bracket. So we lost a game I should have won, and then immediately lost 2 very frustrating, tough games against very good decks immediately after, because sometimes that's what happens in the loser's bracket. And then who knows, if I hadn't punted that game and we just were in the winner's bracket, maybe we randomly face a bunch of schlubs who got completely lucky in their wins and were 3-0 because of 3 Oppo mana screws, and we just romp to a 7-0 start. You know, like we'll never know. That's why we par poll, because we can envision all sorts of scenarios that a deck can play out. And unfortunately, due in huge part to pilot error, and I'm going to fully own that, we got one of the worst possible results we could imagine with this deck. We managed 1 win. In fact, I'm gonna actually, hold on, I'm gonna go back out here. I'm gonna save this one. I don't add many of my limited decks to inventory, but I like, you can do like this. This is something I like to do. Rename it. It's not going to let me rename it. Oh, here we go. 1 and 3 LOL. So I called it 1 and 3 LOL to remind myself that I thought that it was a crime that this deck went so, that it did not do its thing enough, and that we crashed and burned with it. No pun intended, unfortunately. And yeah, and we can play it later. So yeah, maybe let's do that. And then, because it's a little early, I don't really want to do another draft today. I'm not playing the Invitational today. I got another busy day ahead. But since it's so early and I'm so bummed about just not even getting to have the fun of playing with a cool deck. So yeah, Tron, but okay, either one you just drafted, or do you have one? I don't know if you save your decks, but if there's someone who has their own, I cannot believe I 1-3'd or 0-3'd with this. Maybe we'll do a couple games against people who have we'll have the I cannot believe it. Okay, that's fine, Tron. So Tron's just going to play a deck, but I would say if anybody has a I can't believe I offered with this one, let's bash together our offers. Is there a meme list? Nah, not really. And Tron, hit me with your numbers, please. Go. Want to do best of 3? Let's do best of 3. Well, except Tron, are you still there? Well, now we should do best of one, since if we both drafted best of ones, we should play the format we drafted. So now I've changed my mind. Let's just do best of one. That's what we drafted here. And then I can take on some other comers. All right, well, I'll keep a real tally of this deck's record, even though it's no longer official. Good luck, Tron. Here's the infusion. This is like our 23rd card, really. And you saw why last game we whiffed on it, and the whiff potential is real, even though we have technically the density to on average hit. On average doesn't happen every time. It happens on average. Now we get Infusion or Startle. Hopefully we get a Crasher. That's obviously what we want to do on 2, or any of our 6 2-drop creature payoffs for spells. 6 outs to a payoff creature. I know how I'm feeling about my chances for things working out for me on the battlefield today, though. Battle of the Spells. So probably just going to Infusion before we untap, and then hold up Dissipate for the turn after. It's too bad that we're going into all this spell chaining without any of our payoffs. On average, did I miss a chance to order those? No, it was random to the bottom. Well, just how it's going today. And now Tron just wildly ahead on board and us on a counterspell. Definitely dissipating the flashback spell. It's not bad. We can startle to save some damage. Or we can just flip it to day. Maybe we, like startling saves 2, flipping it to day saves 1, and puts it back on Tron to flip it again. So I'm going to do that. And in fact, if Tron plays another spell, it saves more than 1, because it's a 1/1 plus on the front side and +2/+2 on the back. Glad that blob is in the yard. That's a good place for it. Seize the Storm to get this rolling, or just Crasher ahead of getting these things rolling. I like Crasher on 5, Seize on 6, Seize on 7, and then Infuse to see if we can find some more action. Because how big is this going to be anyway? Oh, it'll be pretty big. Maybe I should just play it. Crasher doesn't get a bump, but this is pretty big here. I'm just going to do this. And it burned down the house. Let's not forget that. I'm glad we chose best of one. I don't think I want to play this deck more than that. Crasher. Hold up. Consider attack in. We already have stuff up that. Well, let's offer. We're at 10 though. I guess we don't really have attacks. But I should also probably consider main phase in case there's another spell we want to cast. So I'm going to not mess around here. We're going to consider now.
Consider this. Consider this.
And there you go. I also got one of these.
And our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire.
I know I missed this today. Now, I don't like a Dryad's Revival, but Tron's deck is a deck for Dryad's Revival with 27 bombs. Oh, let's see. What am I doing first? I am casting the Seas and not Reservoiring, so no worries there. I'm going to do that now even. But holy hell, this is going to wreck us. I mean... Anyway. Let's do this, though. We got some big boys over here. We got an active Reservoir. We can win a long game if we can make it to a long game. But Primal Adversary might just end it here is my worry. Like, do we just lose? I didn't even really do the math, but we probably just lose. Smoldering Egg, okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 if we do it this way, which gives us Egg and Infusion and no Reservoir activation. And I think that's what we need to do, because we are going to need to get this Egg going to have any hope. And we do have 1 extra mana, and we've got Delver, Otherworldly Gaze, and Secrets. Because Delver is... I guess I'm going to risk... I mean, it would suck if we... Well, this doesn't even find Delver, so that doesn't matter. This can find... The instants and sorceries this can find are instants, or that we can cast are instants, so we can hold and at least... disguise whatever we might find. Like, we're looking to get a Otherworldly Gaze or Secrets of the Key off of the Infusion so that we can double spell here, put 2 counters on the Reservoir, and give us a chance to launch the Egg as well. Although this takes 7, right? I should read my card. And unfortunately, even if we find our 1 mana spell option, it's not going to flip it this turn. But if we find the secrets, it flips next turn. Even if we draw a land after that. Well, if we go to 1 on an alpha, but we leave our 6/6s, if we get anything left behind, I still like our chances. But looks like I'm not going to do the math until Tron does the attack, but we'll figure it out then. Looks awfully wide, though. I don't like this at all. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I didn't properly do the math and figured out what our true our outs were. At the Pro Tour, yeah, we do the math. We figure out if we're dead and if another blocker saves us, and then do the thing that saves us, right? All right, that's good news for us that Tron is at least held off for now. We at least get some counters, but there we go. And we even found the one of the castable ones. And I'm going to do it. Setting up our draws. Graveyard, graveyard. This reservoir too slow, so we're going to get rid of all that. And I'm going to gaze upkeep. What do we want to draw? We can adversary, and maybe adversary on defense should help us survive for a crackback. So I'm going to put 0 in the graveyard. Well, yeah, Crasher can go, but I think I keep the other 2. Alchemist can get to the face after this. Do we send? Because adversary gives us nullifies 2 attackers, so basically 6/5 and 5/5 we can consider gone. And then we have plenty of blocks for everything else, so I am going to send the dragon here. Yeah, I could do this, but I'm thinking we need the adversary. Unless you're I'm thinking adversary on defense followed by a crackback win. That was what I was thinking. And I'm going to send the dragon and encourage Tron to play into that. And the reservoir threatening to just fire off 4 damage is also nice. Isn't it 2? Oh, did I... It's 2, yeah. Kicker is 1 and a blue. The 2 versus 1 was huge. 11 versus 6, obviously, in terms of potential damage thwarted. Because we phase 2 things out. We tap out to do so. We untap. We have 4 damage with the reservoir. I mean, we can play the alchemist, and that's fine. Yeah, we could even phase one of these out and phase out another blocker for the crackbacks. Yeah, that's a good point. Ostensibly, we have blocks, right? So we say, hey, we got blocks. We'll take on your attacks with our clear good blocks here. Good call. Oh. Well, now, if we pass, we just get these eats. And if Tron goes for something to finish these, then we can adversary our own creatures. So I hope he's got, yeah, board wipe to deal would be fine, because we can phase out our 7/7s and crack back for hefty. All right. So I'm going to go phase out our thing to save it and one of Tron's blockers to try and get in for a lot. Or we can just use the reservoir to outright kill one of them. But I suppose we can untap and do that. So I'm going to do it twice. And let's see, this is going for this one. So we're going to phase out that, and then we'll phase out well, this can't be recast, so I'm going to phase out one of the forests as the biggest thing they've got, Tron has. Oh, I guess they can, Tron can cast Dryad's Revival, but it doesn't do anything else for a turn anyway. So now, Tramplers, Flyers, 4 damage. Tron's at a virtual 8, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 trample damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah. Yes. And removal. So, leaving Crasher back, Alchemist blocking will be good, but I think we got to send... Yeah, we can go face, right? Well, let's see. I'm going to swing away, and maybe even with the Crasher. Although we don't have a spell to actually make the Crasher worth attacking with anyway. Yeah, Zombie too. Good call. Zombie ain't blocking. So they probably get to eat it, but we should still make Tron account for it. Yeah, I guess we could have alpha'd with the Crasher and gotten one more in, but I don't mind having some defense back. Was swing all lethal? Maybe. Maybe. Certainly doesn't matter to take out a blocker here, so we just at least let this happen. Yeah, it looks like swing all was lethal just because of this, but it was lethal anyway. All right, my deck did a thing. See, I already feel better. That's good to have friends who will help you get some value out of your disappointing draft decks, or at least your disappointing results. Milling bombs was my plan all along. Yeah, but I didn't know that, Tron. I didn't do the math. All right, I'm going to give David a game, and then I'm going to call it a stream. Well, glad to pass off the stupid unlucky to somebody else, Tron. Sorry about that. David, you got yourself a why didn't this deck win more? Oh, yeah, that mill. I wasn't sure what part you were talking about, but the the triple mill of your 3 bombs was we thought it was pretty fun. David's still playing. All right, if anybody else has a deck they want to throw at me, I'll do it. If not, I can call it a stream too. It's no big deal. I'm going to update my record though. Gotta win. 2 wins with this deck. 2. Nobody? All right. I'm going to call it then. I'm not doing the sweatsuit today. I need the time and need a break. Sure, we can take a question from Tondel around wild cards before I head off. What you got? Free AMA. $130 rare and mythic cards total. Okay. Hey, I am. While you form your question, though, you know what? I'm gonna hop to this view and let our YouTube friends off the hook. Hey, we got some time in. One extra game in, got a win in. My deck did its thing in that game. I like that. Yay! Like I said, I'm just so much happier when I've gotten to experience my deck doing the thing it was supposed to do. And we did get there a couple times. Thanks, Tron, for pairing up with me after the event to give me a little extra action with the fun deck. Bye, YouTube.